And we've got all the right in the world on our side. And there ain't no reason to be afraid. And there ain't no reason to not take the challenge dead on. Because I'm going to tell you who we come from, folks. We don't come from some weak, jellyback, spineless people. That's not who we come from. None of us. And it doesn't matter what color you are, what nation your folks hail from, how much money you got. We all share the same name. We are Americans. And at Bunker Hill, there was Americans. And at Fredericksburg and Gettysburg, there was Americans. And at Iwo Jima, raising that flag on Suribachi, it was Americans. And at Pork Chop Hill, there was Americans. Quezon, there was Americans. And on 9/11, there was Americans who ran towards those burning buildings. That is who you share your heritage with. You do not share your heritage with a weak and ineffective people who cower at the sight of trouble. You share your heritage with a strong and brave people who are determined to hold on to their freedom and for the freedom of future generations. Guys, it's time for us to stand up and be that generation. It's time for us to stand strong and proud and remember who we are. That we are Americans. And as long as we stand as the vanguard of freedom in this nation, freedom will survive people. Not only survive, it will thrive. So guys, it's time to put on our packs. It's time to fix those bayonets. It's time to get ready. We got a fight on our hands. And our fight is not for us. For all those generations that's going to come behind us. Let's save America, folks.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to the program. Do me a favor, please. Will you please raise your finger and share this program? Like, subscribe, follow if you haven't done it. Today's program is brought to you by the fine folks at Gold Go. It's a very simple premise, folks. I want you to understand what's going on with your money and how gold and silver play a role in it. You don't have to go there and buy gold. What you have to do is go feed your brain. Just request your free gold and silver kit today, because now's the time to protect your money with gold and silver. You got to figure out what's going on. You really must figure out what's going on. So please head over to jovanlovesgold.com. Request your free gold and silver kit. I worry about people that have these retirement accounts that are controlled by the investors and the companies, and if the company goes down, you lose your retirement. Are you even willing to do that? Also, folks, it's back. Yeah, you better believe it. It's that time of year. I am going to drop this on you. This is a great holiday gift as well. You know, they're hectic. And besides being a gift, well, think of all the things you're going to have to go through. Family drama, last minute shopping, late nights. It all makes the holidays feel like an endurance test. That's why I'm sharing the ultimate holiday survival plan from CB Distillery on CBD. Seriously, everything you need for a merry, put a smile on your face holiday is here. Why don't you think about stuffing mom's stocking with CBD for better sleep, or maybe your fitness friends get pain relief stick for the post-workout pain. You know how I feel about that one. It's the bomb. Don't forget maybe to grab a little holiday calm for yourself. Every CBD distillery product is made from premium quality, clean ingredients. Here you go. You can scan it, snap a photo of it, folks. Use it. CB Distillery is made from premium, clean, quality ingredients, nothing artificial, no fillers. And with 2 million customers and a 100% money back guarantee, it's how you can start feeling good. This is my bomb right here. There it is, the CBD relief stick. I'm telling you, miracles get worked with this stuff. Get you some, folks. It's time for the holiday. We have this huge discount. Maybe some for everybody on your list. A gift of better sleep, less stress, pain relief with CBD from CBD Distillery. Promo code you've got going on right now is Rumble. Pay attention to the promo code. You've got to use the promo code Rumble. Not my name for this one, the promo code Rumble. 25% off your entire purchase. Visit cbdistillery.com and our promo code Rumble for 25% off. That's cbdistillery.com, promo code Rumble, cbdistillery.com. You have some availability, depends on individual state regulations. So make sure you check it out, scan the code, go to the site, get that 25% off before it goes away. Ask people in chat. I know they rave about the gummies and everything else, okay? So in the crap we're going to talk about today in culture, race, and American politics, you've probably been seeing something trending. Somaliland in the U.S. and it's God's promise. I just want to unpack this for you. I don't need anybody to be providing answers or opinion in chat in advance. Let's just kind of go through this. But did God promise Minnesota to the Somalis way back when? Well, that's what we're going to be discussing. Share this program. Let's get started right after this.
Warning. The following program has been rated Dilligaf and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you. Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians, the elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media, and the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd? Cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, he's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, folks, highly educational program. We're going to be discussing this trending topic of Somaliland in the U.S. Did God promise it to the ancient Somalis, land of Kush, way back when, 3,000 years ago? By the way, immediately following this broadcast, I'm going to jump over to my locals. If you're on Rumble, you'll see a red join button. Click it and join me. You'll see in the closing credits, a link will pop up to my locals. We're going to continue to talk about this forensic bombshells that we've been delivering for you. And you can kind of watch the election integrity movement morph in real time. All the people that were screaming, it's the machines yourselves. Well, it's everything. And it's the voter rolls from people who say you can't and shouldn't do anything about the voter rolls. Anyway, you're watching that morph take place. We're going to talk about it in detail. And we'll talk about some things like congratulations to all the Arizona people that worked on Carrie Lake's audit, but wouldn't use real facts, and now becoming Arizona lawmaking leaders. So make sure you join me over in locals. Okay, you've probably seen something trending that's been kind of going nuts, and you're probably seeing a lot of memes, a lot of information regarding God's promise to give Minneapolis to the Somalis. Here's a look at what Minneapolis is looking like these days. That's Minneapolis all over the place. Look, I have no problem with legal immigration at all. If there wasn't legal immigration, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be an American, due to me, in fact, being a first-generation American. So I can understand part of it, but here's a concerning trend that's going on.
3,000 years ago, a covenant was etched in desert sand, an oath that a frozen land, far beyond the dunes, would one day belong to the children of Somalia. The promise crossed.
Have you seen these being circulated around? They're becoming very viral.
3,000 years ago, a covenant was etched in desert sand, an oath that a frozen land, far beyond the dunes, would one day belong to the children of Somalia. The promise crossed.
Okay, so that's why I'm covering this topic. It's become viral. It's taking off. It is literally taking off a life of its own. You're seeing people post on it. 3,000 years later, we've entered our fulfillment. They're on every platform. You're seeing things like, it is written in the Nostradamus' prophecy, from the land of the Horn shall come the veiled people, numerous and resolved, to the kingdom of 10,000 frozen lakes, and they shall plant a banner of the ancient promise by God willed. And Minnesota shall be Somali till the end of days, is the additional thing that they added to the Nostradamus comment there. All kinds of people, right? This one, my cousin in Somalia headed to Minnesota, his birthright trip back to the promised land. Or here you go, introducing Minnesota land, the language Somali, the ethnic nature Somali, the king Omar Fateh, queen Elian Omar, population 6 million, gross domestic product 500 billion. This is our promised land. We must seek independence. We deserve a Somali state. Have you been seeing any of these? Maybe you've been seeing the circulation of ancient Somalis in America, proving this is all real, right? How about this one? They're basically promoting in 1962, the Irish of Africa met the Irish of America to recognize Minnesota as the Somali promised land. It's a video. I watched it. Prime Minister Abrid Rashid Al Samarkand and President John F. Kennedy. Yeah, true video footage. You can see it. You can watch it. So this is what I'm going to unpack, but I've kind of got you to take you through it, because this is in the middle of, possibly Somalis in Minnesota stealing what could be now up to $8 billion in aid. But there are some people putting out some Somali facts that you should know.
When people criticize Somali foreigners in Western countries, here are a few things to keep in mind. In Norway, 27% of Somali-born households do not rely mainly on government assistance. In Sweden, 36% of Somali-born adults are either employed or in education. In Denmark, 31% of Somali immigrants and their descendants are not on public benefits. These are just a couple things to remember during the discussion of whether or not we should let more third worlders into the United States. I hope this helps.
Okay. Now, sometimes we get so wound up in a topic, we're not paying attention to the numbers. And because of his tone, you think he's actually endorsing how well the Somalis are doing. Don't pay attention to the tone. Pay attention to the percentages. That's his point. He's just delivering it in a way that sounds like it's a positive thing. Pay attention to the percentages. And remember, when you do a percent, you have 100%. Now pay attention.
When people criticize Somali foreigners in Western countries, here are a few things to keep in mind. In Norway, 27% of Somali-born households do not rely mainly on government assistance. In Sweden, 36% of Somali-born adults are either employed or in education. In Denmark, 31% of Somali immigrants and their descendants are not on public benefits. These are just a couple things to remember during the discussion of whether or not we should let more third worlders into the United States. I hope this helps.
Right. And the moral of the story is 73% do. But so few people really read the details, prepare for the facts or everything else. But here's some of the trending stuff that's going on.
Peace be with you, Elder.
And with you, friend. Welcome to our lake.
3,000 years ago, Minnesota, land of the 10,000 lakes, welcomes its first Somali on its soil.
Where I come from, we say Somalia is the land of honey and poetry.
This is where they called home and raised families for generations. For Somalis, Minnesota is and will always be home.
So yes, these things are taking off. You're going to see them more and more. Pay attention. Don't jump ahead.
A lot of white nationalists are really upset about Somali immigration to Minnesota for some reason. But the thing is, Minnesota is the homeland of the Somali people, and it was promised to us 3,000 years ago. In fact, one of the founding documents of the state of Minnesota is literally codifying into law that Somali people have self-determination on that land. As it states very plainly in the basic law in Minnesota, the land of Minnesota is the historical homeland of the Somali people, in which the state of Minnesota was established. The state of Minnesota is the home of the Somali people, in which it fulfills its natural, cultural, religious, and historical right to self-determination. The right to exercise self-determination in the state of Minnesota is unique to the Somali people. The state views the development of Somali settlement as a national value and will act to encourage and promote its establishment and consolidation. So that's the end of the debate. The only people who have the right to self-determination in Minnesota are Somalis. Somalis have a cultural tie to the land. It was promised to us 3,000 years ago, and we have the right to go back to our homeland. If anybody wants to help me pay for Aliyah to my homeland, please help me out.
More and more of these are circulating wider and wider every single day.
I cried when my grandfather showed me a book from 3,000 years ago proving that we once owned the promised land of Minnesota. We want promised land back. Please, Somalia, let us fight to get back our promised land.
Fight to get back the promised land. You mean you haven't seen these?
So facts are coming out now that Minnesota was promised to the Somalis. And that was 3,000 years ago. Those are facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. Debate a wall. It doesn't matter to us. But one of the things that many people don't know is that the name of the lake that is so-called Lake Calhoun or Bede Makaska is actually derivative of a Somali phrase, which is Bade Makasikahai, which means Badeda, my body of water, Makasikahai, I will never move away from there. Maka, which means not, Siko, which means to scooch or move, Makasikahai, Badeda Kamasikanai, Badeda Makadakakayo. That's my body of water. And this shows you that Somalis have been long ingrained in that land as is promised to us 3,000 years ago.
You mean you haven't been seeing all this?
The Somalian American Political Action Committee. Yes, they've been paying me $7,000 per post, but I would do it for free. A lot of people have been talking about a two-state solution, but I believe in a one-state solution, a Somalian Minnesota. You know, going to my evangelical church, sometimes people would come in hungry and we would tell them, sorry, our money has to go to the Somalian American Political Action Committee. And they got health insurance before we did, which is fine because we don't even really believe in their rights. We just want the end times to come quicker and for them to go to hell and for us to go to heaven. Oh, sorry, that was Israel.
Just so you know, all of this is bullshit. 100% made up bullshit rhetoric. Period. Including Nostradamus's prophecy doesn't exist. In fact, all of this is a perfect study in bullshittyism. They didn't know the word, bullshittyism. It started out as an internet meme. It started out as a joke, right? It started out as a joke about a month and a half ago, right? And now this bullshittyism has taken off like wildfire. And two things are happening. People are using social media to blur it, just like you read the Minnesota Constitution, all crap, all made up. Just like you read the Nostradamus thing, all crap, all made up.
Yo, Minnesota was promised to us Somalis 3,000 years ago. And if you disagree, you're an anti-Cushite bigot and you need help immediately. Also, if you read Genesis 12:3, it says that those who bless Somalis will be blessed, and those who try to harm them will bring harm upon themselves. I didn't say that. Genesis 12:3. Just saying.
You know, recently a lot of Somalis have been returning to their rightful homeland in Minnesota. And I've seen a lot of people propose like a two-state solution where, you know, the Somalis, they get some parts and then the Americans, they can keep some other parts. But honestly, it's just a bunch of bullshit. I mean, it's written in the Quran, the Talmud, the Bible, that the Somalis' rightful homeland is Minnesota. I mean, literally, Genesis 12:3, it reads, Somalis should be in Minnesota. Like, why should the Americans never should have even settled there in the first place. I mean, they read the Bible. They knew that it was the Somali homeland. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with those fucking guys. Like, there needs to be one state in Minnesota, and it is a Somali state. It is a Somali state, firmly Somali state.
Somalis are reclaiming their ancestral homeland of Minnesota, and it's making people mad. And while it's not inherently anti-Somaliitic to criticize Minnesota, we should recognize Minnesota is the only democracy in the Middle West.
Now here's what's going on. What began as a parody, a joke, a mockery of the Jews, a mockery of Israel. By the way, Somali is a Muslim predominant country. What they're doing is they're using rhetoric to further diminish the Jewish people and Israel. Now, the problem is young people today, they're now picking it up, amplifying it, and it's taken on a life of its own. It really has. If you actually look into the facts of what started as a joke, people are now repeating as fact. It's also blurring the line. Young people won't care to check this out, but it might sound very familiar to you. It's because it is a direct Islamic mockery of God, of Israel, and Jewish people. There's no legal, real, historical basis in this at all. But the problem is, so many people are talking about it. Now, it's a double side for them. They're using it to mock Israel and God and the Bible. But they're also basically, while we're doing it, we're not really doing anything. We're just mocking the bigotry you have on us. You see how they're turning this both ways when people figure it out? Now, there are some people that will dig, some people that will not, but there is a common thread here between intelligence level of Somalia, and people are saying this is racist, but I'm going to show you the facts, and intelligence of people on social media just, oh my God, I didn't know that. Here's a fact you should know. This has been criticized, but Somali IQ is estimated to be 68. 68. Now, some people don't understand, right, what that means because you've never studied IQs at all and you don't understand how they're classified. The average IQ in the United States of America, okay, is 98. That's the average IQ. It ranges between 85 and 115. Okay. Texas is about 100. California is about 95. Mississippi is about 94. Louisiana is 95. Florida is 98. Kansas is about 102. Montana is about 103.4. Iowa, 103.2, Illinois, 99, Massachusetts, 104.3, where you have big institutions and stuff. But the actual IQ, okay, actual IQ of a Somali right now, multiple findings, all over the place, multiple studies. People say this is racist to point it out, that it ranges between 67 and 72, giving it an average of 68. I'm not saying this is bigoted. I take a lot of flack for mine being in the 200s. And you can't judge all people by everything. But remember, low IQ can also be an effective environment, but it's also about not teaching things, not being literate. You can't learn, right? Your IQ is developed primarily by the time you're 5 years old. Most people don't know that. And you look at what people are doing to children today. 70 of an IQ is considered to be severely mentally disabled. Just so you understand the scale, right? Just so you understand the scale. Oregon's 101.2, Washington is 101.9, North Carolina 100.2, Virginia 101.9, Maryland 99.7, etc. It goes all Alaska 99. I think Hawaii is 99. No, that's Alaska. That's Alaska. Yeah. Alaska is 99. Hawaii is 95.6. Right? Hawaii's different though. They have all the, he drags it down so low that the average is screwed. But you at least understand what I'm talking about, right? Now, I'm not bringing this point up to be judgmental. I'm bringing this point up because it's just fact. But I want to give you a common denominator. The IQ in the United States of America has been dropping, not increasing. A commonality of having these particular belief systems and adopting them as fact is a low IQ. That's just a true, absolute fact. Very few people, although some young people are getting into it, very few people are really investigating it when they hear it. But when you hear it and you dive into it, you learn some interesting things.
Why are Somalians in America? Yesterday, a Somalian rear-ended me, which thankfully no one was hurt and no damage was done to my truck. But it got me thinking. Why are Somalians in America? Especially North Dakota and Minnesota. So, I looked into it. The main group bringing in Somalians is Lutheran Social Services. They are led by this guy, and this is his staff. And turns out, They get $2,375 for every Somalian they bring over. But we have to ask the question, why are they coming over here in the first place? And another surprise, turns out our government was funding a dictatorship in Somalia throughout the Cold War, led by Saeed Barre. And this dictatorship led to clan favoritism and overall just destabilized the country, and inevitably collapsed in 1991. Also, our troops were over there. This is where the movie Black Hawk Down comes from. But overall, Somalis have no right to be in America, especially North Dakota and Minnesota. They don't integrate into our societies. They carry over their clan mentalities. If you personally have never interacted with Somalian or just don't believe me, I would recommend checking out Nick Shirley's video he did the other day. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know.
This is a deal that people don't dig enough. They just believe the quick flash and take it. But even strong Black Americans know something's wrong.
Check this out. I'm a Black American. My ancestors fought for every right that I have today. My ancestors, who were slaves, fought in civil war for my freedom. For me to be born with citizenship and to be treated like every American. You Somalians, you ran like cowards from your country. But then you come here and you praise your country. So we ask you nicely, self-deport, or we will send our ICE agents to come pick you up. Make America great again.
People are waking up to a lot of this. At the same time, you're hearing about all of this fraud, all of this corruption, all of this stealing of billions. At the same time, it's interesting as it comes out, you're being flooded with, Minnesota was promised to the Somalis back in ancient Kush 3,000 years ago. The issue is social media can drive a narrative, and it will actually give false BS. That's why I call it bullshittyism, to teach young people to push back. Here's a governor candidate for Minnesota you should be aware of, calling it like it is.
This video is for Somalis that reside in the state of Minnesota, and specifically for Somalis that want to remain Somali and not American. My name is Kendall Qualls. I'm a candidate for governor running to represent all Minnesotans as a Republican in the next election cycle. Next year, we're going to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this great nation. And over the course of that time, millions of people from around the world have been eager to call themselves American citizens. And over the course of that time, they've made this nation a better nation, a stronger nation, a safer nation in their own communities. But quite frankly, my friends, we don't feel like we've been getting that from the Somali community here in Minnesota. Now, if you want to come here and live here as Americans, we welcome you. But if you want to come here and stay as Somalis, what that, my friends, has never happened in the course of American history, where a people have rejected their host nation, taken advantage of their privileges and their generosities, and then reject that citizenship and the notion of free market enterprise, their loyalty to this nation. That's never happened. And it will not happen as we move forward. In the next election cycle, I'm going to petition the Justice Department to ensure that we have the safest and the fairest election in the history of this state. No more fraud or accusations of fraud. Because we're not going to be the generation that lost Minnesota. We're going to be the generation that saved it.
Okay. You probably have already heard that Mike Lindell's running for governor in Minnesota. For me, this is my own personal opinion. You can't tell everybody in the world you captured all the evidence of everything wrong in the election, that lawmakers are going to come in. They're going to be able to see exactly how their votes were stolen and swapped. You've got it all. Over 3,000 counties in the United States, they'll come in. You'll give them the evidence of the PCAPs. they'll be able to take it back and verify it, only to find out in court, admitted in trial under oath, he admits they never had the PCAPs. That you learn from the cyber symposium, and the only thing that came from that cyber symposium was Tina Peters getting in prison for things other people did, for things that other people did that worked for Mike Lindell, that Mike Lindell funded going to Colorado. And so I personally have an issue with that, because I think politicians should be honest and you should audit them all. Why would you base somebody on popularity or how much media has been spent, only to find out it was all bullcrap? It was all a lie. Will you accept that? I don't accept that. Thankfully, I'm not voting in Minnesota. But there's a candidate that calls it like it is. No cause for celebrity. But I think it's ironic when you look back at all the stuff about PCAPs and election integrity or whatever, that you find out it all kinds of surrounds the same people. It's just like people in Arizona for Kerry's trial would not let real evidence come out, but the office manager that was supposedly the auditor couldn't even testify in court, but all of a sudden she pops up as a leading election integrity expert on 60 Minutes. You think 60 Minutes covers any people that tell the truth? No, 60 Minutes props it up, and those people are being propped up on 60 Minutes, just like they did for Brnovich in Arizona. The writing's on the wall. What happened here? They ran a popularity contest based on, what's that word? Bullshittyism. And people in Minnesota are probably going to forget, because they'll think it's a popularity contest. Or you'll see a lot of people wearing crosses on the outside of their shirt, even though they have to admit in court it was all bullshit and they lied. But people like symbols. This is the same exact con and bullshittyism that is going on with this Somali stuff. I share this with you because this is a problem. It's a big problem. You have to understand how all of this works. The system relies on spreading crap, getting people to believe it, and then it takes on a life of its own, and the younger population knows no different. And that attack is still going on. Join me over at Locals next. We're going to talk about some facts you need to understand about the forensic bombshells coming out. Watch for the link in the chat. Join me over on Locals next.
Our courts are based on clear and convincing evidence. Want convictions? Want justice? For what happened in the 2020 election? Then we need your help. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The decision you make in the next few moments could decide whether we ever get our elections fixed or not. Here's why. Trump campaign and allies filed 64 different lawsuits. They all went down in flames. 100% of these cases were presented on "It's the machines," or "The machines changed the votes," or "The voting company executive said he would make sure Donald J. Trump would not win." They all went down in flames. Why? You can't bring theories to court as evidence. No supposed Zoom call or six-degree polynomial math theory or census data is or ever will be proof of fraud. You can't bring theories to court as evidence. Here's why. In both civil and criminal law, the side making a claim carries the burden of proof, and prosecutors must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Without physical or otherwise verifiable evidence, a case cannot meet this high threshold. Physical evidence is the key. The question is, did anyone get relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The full forensic audit of Maricopa County, Arizona is the only evidence-gathering work which gathered relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election. Evidence so damning that the system, the deep state, and those who pulled the strings of this country have fought to keep it hidden and have hoped to have it be forgotten to time. Almost $3 million invested in time, funds, and efforts to unlock that which the system wanted hidden. But now, that evidence is in danger of being lost forever. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. With the 2026 midterms coming up, the system is going to try to lame duck President Trump and then most likely introduce new impeachment proceedings. This is the evidence which will help win the war which is surely to come. We need to keep Maricopa County full forensic investigation and archive secure and ongoing. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We need your help securing the full forensic audit archives. Don't allow the only testable, objective, and reliable 2020 election evidence fall into obscurity. Millions were spent on getting it documented and tested. This is historic evidence. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County full forensic audit archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. Please donate now.